Good morning, students. I hope you all are doing it very well. So, today let's start with chapter number second, and the name of the chapter is Inside Our Earth. Very simple chapter, very interesting chapter. So, please read it very carefully. So, let's start without any delay. Let's talk about the introduction of this chapter. The surface of the earth is made up of 29% of land and 17% of water. This thing you have already studied in the previous chapter, and the chapter number is 1. Earth is also known as the blue planet, as you all know. Okay, because it is covered with 71% of the water resource and rest remaining 29% with land resource. Earth is divided into two hemispheres. First is the northern hemisphere, which has more of land, and the southern hemisphere, which has more of water. The distribution of land and water through the world is affected by major 2 points. First is the climate change, means the various changes of the climate happening around all over the world, and the second is tectonic activities or the movement of plates or various rock surface which are under the earth. Okay, let's move forward. The second topic is earth's internal structure. Okay, very simple topic. The earth is divided into three concentric layers. The first is the crust, second is the mantle, and third is the core. Let's talk about the crust. It is the outermost layer of the Earth's surface. Thickness varies from 5 to 40 kilometers. It is thickness. It is thicker under the continent and thinner under the ocean. It is also known as lithos. The Earth is majorly divided into three concentric layers, these layers are crust, mantle, and core. Let's talk about the crust. It is the outermost layer of the Earth's surface, and thickness is around 5 to 40 kilometers. If if we talk about this thickness, then it is thicker under the continents and thinner under the ocean, and it is also known as lithosphere. You all know lithosphere is made up of lithosphere crust is made up of silica. It has two main parts: the upper crust and the lower crust. The upper crust is known as sial, and it is made up of silica and aluminium. The inner crust is the lies under the oceanic floor, and it is known as sima. And it is made the lower crust is made up of silicon and magnesium. The earth crust is made up of seven tectonic plates, and these plates are of two types: oceanic and continental. And they can move independently or they can move freely over the atmosphere because they have energy produced by the internal heat of the earth. The movement of these plates can cause rifts on the earth. The movements of these plates can cause different activities, which are rifts on the earth, volcanic mountains, volcanic islands, trenches, folding, etc. Let's move forward. The second topic is mantle or the middle layer. It is the layer below the crust and is 2900 kilometers thick, and the density increases as the increase in its depth. Okay, the crust is separated from the mantle by a thick boundary known as Moho discontinuity. It consists of two layers, the upper mantle and the lower mantle. The average temperature of the upper mantle is between 500 to 900 degrees Celsius, and it is found in semi-solid and plastic state. The average temperature of the lower mantle is between 2200 to 5900 degrees Celsius, and it is found in solid state. The earth mantle is made up of mineral olivine, which is a combination of iron, magnesium, and silica. Let's discuss about the second internal structure, which is mantle or the middle layer. It is the layer which is below the crust and is 2900 kilometers thick, and the density of mantle increases with the increase in its depth. Okay, The crust and mantle is separated by a boundary known as Moho discontinuity. It is of two types, the upper crust and the lower crust. If we talk about the upper crust, then it has temperature between 500 to 900 degrees Celsius, and the nature or the structure in which it is found is semi-solid and plastic state. And if we talk about the the lower mantle, the average temperature of lower mantle is between 2200 to 5900 degrees Celsius, and we can find it in solid state. The earth mantle is made up of mineral olivine, means the mantle of the earth is made up of olivine mineral in which the combination of iron, magnesium and silica is found. Okay, let's move forward. Let's talk about core or barosphere. Core is also known as barosphere, and barosphere is by barysphere. Sorry, core is also known as barysphere. It is the innermost layer of the earth. Its thickness is around 8500 kilometers. It is divided into outer core and inner core. Outer core has temperature of 2200 degrees Celsius, and it is made up of iron and molten liquid state. It is made up of iron which is in molten liquid state. The iron, the inner core has a temperature of 5000 degrees Celsius, and it is made up of nickel and iron, which is also known as NIF. It is in solid state because of extreme pressure exerted by the weight of the rocks which lie above it. The density of the different layers of the earth increase as we move towards the center of the earth. Similarly, temperature also increases with the rate of 1 degree Celsius for every 32 meter towards the center of the earth. Let's talk about the third internal structure of earth, which is core. It is also known as barysphere. It is the innermost layer of the earth, and its thickness is around 5500 degree, 3500 kilometers. It is divided into outer core and the inner core. Two parts core is divided, outer core and the inner core. The outer core has the temperature of 2200 degrees Celsius, and it is made up of iron which is in molten liquid state. The inner core has a temperature of 5000 degrees Celsius, and the inner core is made up of nickel and iron, which combinedly known as NIF. It is in solid state, means the inner core is in solid state because it has a extreme pressure which are exerted by the rocks which lie over it, means with the rocks which lie over the core surface. The density of the different layers of earth increase as we go in deep. The density of the layers of the earth surface layers or the different layer of the earth's density increases as we move to the center of the earth. Similarly, temperature also increases with the rate of 1 degree Celsius for every 32 meters. Okay, let's talk about the rocks and the minerals. First, we'll talk about the rocks. Okay, very simple, very easy. The crust of the earth is made up of rocks. The rocks refer to a mixture of minerals of various types. They consist harder materials like granite, sandstone, and marble, and also softer materials like clay, sand, salt, mud, chalk, etc. Rocks having larger quantities of metals in them, they are known as ores, like hematite is an ore of iron, or do not have a definite chemical composition. Let's read about rocks and mineral. First, we'll study about the rocks. The crust of the earth, the crust which we have studied earlier in this chapter, it is made up of rocks, various kind of rocks. Rock refers to the mixture of various types or various kinds of minerals in it. Rocks have both harder material and softer material. Harder material like granite, sandstone, and marble, and softer material like clay, sand, mud, chalk, etc. The rocks having larger quantity of metals, means if any rock having larger quantity of metal in it, then it is known as ore. For example, hematite is the ore of iron. Ores do not These ores do not have a definite chemical composition. Okay, let's move forward. There are three types of rocks. First is igneous rocks, second is sedimentary rocks, and third is metamorphic rocks. These are classified on the basis of their origin and how they are formed. Okay, so on the basis of origin and formation, the rocks are of three types: igneous rock, sedimentary rocks, and metamorphic rocks. Let's talk about the igneous rock. The term igneous has been derived from the Latin word ignis, which means fire. Igneous, the term has been derived from the Latin word ignis, which is meant fire. These rocks are formed by the cooling and solidification of molten magma either inside the earth or the on surface of the earth. While cooling, the magma takes place below the earth's surface. The process occurs slowly, leading to the formation of large crystals called institutive or plutonic rocks. For example, granite and dolerite used as building stone, primary rocks. When lava or magma comes out through cracks and holes and cools down on the earth's surface, the process occurs rapidly, leading to the formation of small crystals known as extrusive or volcanic rock. So, for example, basalt and obsidian, which is used for building the roads. Igneous rocks are called primary or basic rock because all other rocks are directly or indirectly formed from these. Let's talk about first rock, which is the igneous rock. The term igneous is derived from the Latin word ignis, which means fire. These rocks, the igneous rock or the kind of igneous rock is formed by with the process of cooling and solidification of molten magma, either on the earth's surface or under the earth's surface. How igneous rock is formed? With the process of cooling and solidification of molten magma below or above the earth's surface. Okay, if we talk about while cooling is taken place under the earth's surface or below the earth's surface, the process occurs slowly, means the process of cooling of magma below the earth's surface take place slowly, which leads to the formation of big or large crystals, which are known as intrusive or plutonic rocks. For example, dolerite and granite. These are used for making or building the homes or building the stones. Sorry. When lava or magma comes out through cracks and holes and cools down on the earth's surface on a faster rate, then there small crystal are forms which are known as extrusive or volcanic rocks, and basalt and obsidian are the kind are of this kind which is used for building the roads. Okay, igneous rocks are also called primary rocks because directly or indirectly other rocks are formed on the basis of this rock. Okay, let's talk about the sedimentary rocks. The term sedimentary means to settle down. It means settling down of anything due to the effect of running water, moving ice, wind, wave, and the rocks on the earth's surface, which are constantly breaking into smaller pieces ranging from gravel to sand to clay to slate. Means due to the effect of running water, मतलब बहता हुआ पानी, or the moving ice, or winds, or air waves. The rocks on the earth's surface are content. The rocks which are laid on the earth's surface with the due to these the rocks break into smaller pieces, starting from the gravel to sand to clay and till slit. These are called sediments and get deposited in the on the layers of the floor of lakes, sea, ocean, and due to rains and rivers. These are known as these four things are known as sediments, and they deposit on the layer of or on the floor of lake, oceans due to rain and rivers. These layers are compressed and cemented together due to heavy pressure to form sedimentary rocks. And these kind of layers are compressed, means उन पर दबती हैं, pressurized and cemented together, means to join together because of very heavy pressure, and after this process sedimentary rocks are formed. These are also known as stratified rocks. Sedimentary rocks are all also known as stratified rocks because they found in different layers. It includes, for example, sedimentary rocks example: sandstone, limestone, clay, chalk, gypsum, and conglomerate. It covers, or the sedimentary rocks covers 70% of all the rocks found on the earth's surface. The fossils, the dead remains of the plant and animals in the past are found in sedimentary rocks. You have seen that many dead remains, decays of plant, animal or anything are found. These dead remains of plant, animals, these are found on the sedimentary rocks. Or for example, coal is a sedimentary rock. Okay, petroleum and natural gas are found in the layer of these rocks. Petroleum and natural gas, these are found on the layers of these rocks and is also known as fossil fuel. Petroleum and natural gas is also known as fossil fuel because they are the good source of energy. Let's talk about the metamorphic rocks. It is derived from the Greek word metamorphs, which means change of form. These are formed when ignition or sedimentary rocks goes under a complete change in their form and characterized and the characteristics due to excessive internal pressure or internal heat, volcanic activity or movement in the earth's crust. This process takes place at the depth of 12 to 16 km below the earth's surface, where temperature and pressure is very high. Marble, slate, gneiss, graphite, quartzite are formed from limestone, shale, granite, coal, sandstone respectively. These rocks are mostly beautiful, bright and precious in nature. Let's talk about the metamorphic rock. The word metamorphic has been derived from the Greek word metamorphos, which means a change in the form or change in the nature. These are formed when igneous or metamorphic rocks goes under a complete change process, and these are characterized, and these kind of metamorphic rocks are characterized due to the external pressure or internal heat, volcanic activities in the earth crust. This process, in the process of changing in the form, takes place in the depth of 12 to 16 km below the earth's surface, where both temperature as well as is pressure are very high. For example, marble, slate, gneiss, graphite, and quartzite. These are formed from limestone, shale, granite, coal, and sandstone, respectively. These rocks, these metamorphic rocks, are very beautiful, bright, and precious in nature. Let's move forward. Rock cycle. What is rock cycle? Rock pass through a cycle of transformation. Means the rock has to pass through a process of transformation or change. Magma rises below the earth's surface, solidifies to form igneous rock. Magma, which rise from the earth's surface, it it solidifies, means it takes solid nature, due to which igneous rock is formed. These rocks are broken into sediments, and these igneous rocks are then broken into sediments to form sedimentary rocks, and both of these rocks are converted into metamorphic rock, means the igneous and sedimentary rocks are converted into metamorphic rocks due to extreme heat and pressure under the earth's surface. When the rock melts due to heat, and when the this rock or the sedimentary rock is melt due to heat, new magma is formed, and, after that magma rise from the earth's surface and get solidifies to form the igneous rock. And the above process is known as the rock cycle. Let's move forward. What are the importance of rocks? There are many importance of rocks. Namely, let's start with the first point. Rocks provide building material like granite, sandstone, and marble. Rocks provide different kind of building materials which help to build home, malls, big buildings, and these materials are granite, sandstone, and marble. They provide fossil fuel like coal and petroleum. These rocks have huge deposit of fossil fuel, for example, and they provide these fossil fuel for use of man. For example, coal and petroleum. They also have these rocks also have very precious stone like gem, diamond, etc. And we can get it with the we can get it from the market. They provide metallic minerals like iron, gold, copper, and magnesium, manganese, etc. The rock provide metallic minerals, means the minerals which have metallic metal as the nature. For example, iron, gold, copper, and manganese. They store means the rock has a storehouse of fossils. Okay, let's move forward. Let's talk about mineral. These are nature resource or the inorganic compound found in the earth's crust. Minerals are the natural resources or inorganic compound which we can find on the earth crust. They have definite chemical composition and physical properties. The chemical composition of minerals can be read very easily, or they have a definite number of chemical composition and physical properties. Rocks containing raw material in large quantities are called ores. Rocks which contain raw material in major quantity, these are known as ores. Okay, let's move forward. Minerals are of two types, metallic and non-metallic. If we talk about metallic, these are in metallic form and they are generally found in igneous or sedimentary rocks. Metallic minerals, these are in metallic form and generally found in igneous or sedimentary rocks. For example, iron, gold, silver, copper, lead, zinc, and these metallic mineral can be pressed into wires and sheet. Means we can mold or we can change the shape of these metallic minerals. Now, what are non-metallic minerals? These are mainly associated with sedimentary rocks, or these are majorly found on the sedimentary rocks. For example, sulfur, coal, petroleum, and salt. These sedimentary rocks or non-metallic minerals cannot be pressed into wire or sheet, and the sulfur which you have read earlier is used for medicinal purposes, means for the medical use sulfur is used at various levels. So students, this here comes the end of this chapter. I hope you have understood it very thoroughly. Read it again and again so that you will have no confusion in understanding this chapter. Thank you. Have a great time ahead.